now go to your spades deck, final deck.
Go to disc 2.
Oops. Insert side
I'm
B.
glad it's my turn because everyone fucking forgot the Endless Watchers are finally fucking vulnerable because of booger snot. And we're down to like it's about to wrap that shit up.
Would you get some? Are you gonna wait?
Oh, I didn't pull it yet, but
Okay.
I can.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll just pull it and then
Yeah.
I can think. I got a 9.
I
You
went the wrong
bastard.
way.
Why?
There you go.
Someone goes missing. They're alone in winter elements. Choose one. The community organizes constant search parties, and eventually the person is found. Project dice are not reduced this week. No one ever hears it. Okay, yeah, I might go slightly into this one.
Okay.
I'll wait till Maria comes back.
Sure.
I'll really think about it.
Really debate what
Oh,
you're gonna
sure.
debate if you're gonna
Sure.
murder a person here or.
Here, I'm gonna draw where we get the crystals from, too.
Or we sacrifice everything for this person.
Spit out like 3 names of the other watchers.
Spit out 3 names of other watchers? Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's a good
Orovis.
fucking...
That's a neat name
I
I
knew.
just pulled out of my butt.
I guess. Just throw shade at you. Oh, God.
Barlomir.
Barlomir Orifice.
Orovis.
What was it?
Oroviz.
Oroviz.
Aura, like A-U-R.
Oh, way hard.
V-I-Z. Oroviz.
Alright. Okay.
Uh,
And
Nyx, NYX.
and Ludor.
crap. Crap.
It's just crap. That ain't it.
Now, as far as questions about how we want to use this world in the future, I was kind of imagining it'd be like thousands of years after this.
No.
Oh, you
No.
want to start like
Nothing
right
we did
here.
here would matter.
It doesn't have to be starting right here, but it will be. There is a possibility that the NPCs will show up. That is a
Oh,
thing that could
wow.
happen.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking it'd be in like the
No.
future, and this was just like the history books
No.
of this world or something.
Well, it is like, I mean, it could be the history books, as in it could go up from anywhere from like 20, 30, 40, maybe even 100 years in the future. But 1,000 years in the future, half this stuff won't matter anymore. So
Right.
it's supposed to be,
Yeah.
we're creating something there where things are still affected. Like 1,000 years, then none of this stuff could still be there. I mean, it could be where like, 20 years in the future, something could still be relevant where like, you have to go investigate the shadows as one of your first, missions if that's a mystery not solved. Stuff like that, where it is a world we are still pretty heavily affected by this game.
Oh, okay.
I'm back.
Okay, so
Sounds
here
good.
we go. All right, go back to the thing so I can read it again.
Yep.
So I'm going slightly. I'm going a little off, not off the rails, but using this as a story thing. So I got 9 again, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So someone goes missing. They're alone in the winter elements. Choose one. The community organizes a constant search parties, and eventually the person is found. Project dice are not reduced this week, or no one ever hears from them again. So I'm going with number 1. We're gonna. It's a day in the life of Glenjamin or whatever. But this is from the perspective of I had them throw me like a couple other names of other whatchamacallit. So we'll say Barlomir is the main endless watcher or whatever. Yeah, Dave threw some of these out. And so Glenjamin runs into the endless watcher rooms. He goes, Barlomir, Orifice is lost. He got lost in the woods, and there's a storm going on right now. We got to. If we leave him out there, he's gonna die because he's got the booger snot or whatever it's called. Pus nose. He's got pus nose. And he's gonna die out into the elements. And Barlomir goes, Glenjamin, you fool! How could you let one of us get lost in the woods? All right, fetch my coat and let's go find him. And and we'll take Ludor with us. And so they go out into the winter storm, and it's like really storming. It's almost pitch white outside with like a little bit of hail and everything. And as they walk into the woods, they go deeper and deeper and deeper into the woods until Barlamir goes, "Where was the last time you saw Nyx?" And then Glenjamin goes, "Oh, right about here." And then he lets loose an arrow right into the back of Barlamir's head, and he drops dead in the snow. And then Arviz and Nyx turn on him, and there's a big old fight, but another arrow flies out from the woods, and then Ron comes in, and he's shooting arrows and stuff. And eventually they kill all the Endless Watchers except one that scurries off into the woods. And as Glenjamin's holding his bow and he's about to let loose, he goes, "No, no, let him run. Let him run." And then you can have a cool scene, I guess, where Nyx runs off into the woods and he gets eaten by the big old monster thingy. But that's a tale for another day.
Terrible.
So because the Endless Watchers were vulnerable because they were all sick and stuff. So we had to kill them before that got cured.
Yeah, I try not to do that on unless like something prompts you to. It's not. I mean, you're not. That's a hard. I mean, you no one ever heard from that person again. Could be a person, but don't like A. You didn't choose that, and B. It would be one person, not a whole team.
All right, well,
so
maybe
it's a pretty big decision.
Can Barlamir just go down?
Yeah, you can kill someone.
We'll do all that, and then the other ones don't know what happened.
Yeah.
So we kill we're taking them one at a time.
I was about to say you killed off the entire thing we like the most about this.
Yeah,
I guess so. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
you can kill one of them. You can take
25
one of them out.
25 contempt tokens if you want.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah, you're right. We'll just kill one then. So
I can say that you convinced Barlamir to go out with, or Glenjamin convinced Barlamir to go out.
Yeah. Or even Ron could kill him, I guess.
Sure. Okay, project dice do drop down. So you technically chose option 2.
Yes. No, they don't drop down.
No.
Well, because you did eventually that person is found, so you're not, I mean, you're choosing more of, well, I mean, you're kind of killing a person as opposed to finding a person. I would say it's more option 2 than 1.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, actually.
Because it's not
like no one ever hears from that guy
again. Yeah.
The above box is at 4, and the goop snot is cured. I'm going to say this resolves by, as previously stated, the members of the parish, which I've called the Formless Devout, spend these weeks curing our community, kind of researching it with their magics, mostly in 8, and but like I think they use this time to also get close to community members, just so it's harder and harder to kick them out, and they feel like whether out of obligation or maybe friendship as well, they are now like a part of our community.
Sweet.
And Tom, your action.
Wait, does that mean we can take health off with scarcity?
Yes. And yeah, that was no for scarcity.
Action. Let's see. Wait, did we cure the sickness?
I just did that.
Oh, you just did it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I misheard that. Let's see. I was drawing this guy face down in the woods.
See him
see
now.
what should happen. Well, okay, so another Endless Watcher is dead, so we should find somebody else to replace him. And slowly we're just going to fill in our guys in their positions and kind of usurp them.
So that's your new project is kind of the same as before?
Find a second Watcher.
How long is it going to take?
Since there's less people to convince, I'd say 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's not
1 week less. And we're gonna front Fleur as the next person.
That sounds safe and smart.
Jason.
I got a 2.
Right there.
Alright, a headstrong community member takes charge of the community's work efforts. A project fails and then a different project finishes early. Or a headstrong community member tries to take control of the community. How are they prevented? Do the conflict project dice are not reduced this week?
Ooh.
There's going to be a member who frantically is upset with the the work of the healers coming in because they're the outside. They're the parish, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So they're going to freak out and super concerned. Like, nope, they're going to affect our way of life. They're going to invade us. They're trying to take over everything. And somewhere in the shadows, somebody just throws a hood over him and drags him off. No one knows what happened to him. You just hear the muffled shouts and then nothing. No one knows who took him, why, and that'll be.
Sure.
Yep.
So I guess Project Dice are not released this week.
Yikes! Yikes! This is spooky.
Okay, a member spoke out against the Paris and is gone.
And then let's see.
You get your action.
As an aside, James is in here brushing our cat and just saw the abover that you drew, Dave, and just looked at me and shook his head violently. Have you seen our King Squirrel, though?
Spooky thing.
You see King Squirrel. Let me tell you about King Squirrel.
Let me tell you about King Squirrel. It's a mascot for Sling Bowl. This is a below with a gun.
So wait, it's discussion project or what was
Discussion
it?
project or find something. A discovery.
Fine.
And discoveries can be as, kind of intangible or tangible as you'd like.
Move the squirrel over the thing.
You shrink stuff?
James is
No.
asking
It's,
why the giant snail died, and I just told him it's because he was old and he died.
Did you tell James about the king squirrel?
I sure did. Oh, hell yes. That's a good spot for this squirrel. Where it belongs.
So wait, we've got. What happened with the magic community? What's that?
It's just that our community, we were looking for new defenses, and we became very heavily. It was like a new renaissance of magic, where everyone became very studious, and our community is now entrenched in magic. Most people are fairly apt at it.
Has this the parish built any kind of place of worship yet?
I don't think they have. No.
They're going to start building one on the outskirts.
How long is it going to take?
Probably put it at 3.
Okay.
What is this cave down to the bottom left?
That's where the crystals came from.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the ice dryads showed us where they came from so that we can replenish the forest with them and also use them from there instead of the forest.
I pulled a 6. Time has come to consolidate your efforts and your borders. Projects located on the outside of the settlement fail, and all remaining projects are reduced by 2 weeks. Or someone finds a curious opportunity at the edge of the map. Start a project related to this discovery.
Ooh.
There are several opportunities at the edge
There.
of the map.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there are.
Some of them
Let me
are
look at this.
above
Let
the
me look
map,
at this.
If you know what I mean, wink, wink.
Or are you above? Did you say above the map?
The abovers. The abovers.
Are
who
you
above the
are you
map.
talking about another abover project?
Oh, yes.
I
Are-
mean,
Oh, wait, I have to draw somebody being dragged away, don't I?
yeah. Oh, Ty, was there another world clock thing?
Not yet. There's
Okay.
one that's ticking down, but hasn't happened yet.
Gotcha.
We will talk about what that happens pretty soon, though.
Excellent.
2 weeks. I think so. It's a discovery. That's right. Okay. It has to be a discovery that I find.
On the edge of the map. So that would be any, if it's stuff
Yeah.
that's on the map, like the Crystal Cave,
Yeah.
the spooky, scary shadow place, the ice dryads, even with the midnight talons.
I think the discovery
hole.
is. I think the discovery is this. I think, upon after the Wanderers did the stint in the shadows, and there's been some some presence there now and again. I mean, besides the fear of the abovers, I think the discovery is that a lot of it is hollow. It wouldn't be too big of a effort to create pathways from our town underground to the shadows to link the two, creating like a kind of a underground tunnel system / like pathways to connect the shadows to Allora's Peak. So that is the project that is going to start.
To the mountain.
It's going to take a while though to like kind of create pathways safe enough. I'm going to say it's going to take 5 weeks.
Secret tunnel.
Subway system.
That is that. Project clock's reduced by 1.
Except for the secret tunnel clock, is that right?
Yeah, except for that. Yep. So that's still at 5. Watcher replacement is at 2 weeks. No, 1 week. No, 1 week.
Watchers
No.
are 2.
Watchers are 2. Yeah, Watchers
And
are
the
2.
box is at 3. The above box.
Yes, and then the formal parish is at 2 as well.
Yeah.
Cool. And then I started. We'll actually for once we have a decent amount of projects. I'm gonna say, back on here. Fucking mess of shit. Oh, mess.
Cleaning it up.
Yeah.
We could probably put like Hutch over here. How come I can't? I guess you can't grab stuff you didn't draw.
Correct.
Okay.
So, like, I can move the X that's on Hutch. But that's it. And the banana. I can move these things away. Goodbye.
Well, the X needs to stay.
I am actually going to start a project. The project that I'm going to start it has been a debate in the community and once again a point of contention. I think Floor does not have the whole community behind her currently as to join this war. So I think the compromise is that someone agrees to be a diplomat with her for the Blowers and start talks with them. She is making claims to join a war. We don't know the Blowers. We've never met them besides her. So I think that maybe like a community member agrees to go with her to open up the pathways of communication.
Is it Glenjamin?
No, he's too. He's a watcher.
He's too busy.
He's too busy. I think if they came back, it's going to be actually Delia, Orin, and Telva. I think the 3 of them are now like very close. I think they agree to be diplomats to this other society too. I think Delia and Orin are into it, and Telva has never met a Blower. So I think that group of 3 decides to join Floor as to be open up communication with the Blowers.
# unite the mountain.
And that's going to take a month to do.
That's 4 weeks.
Yep.
But that's 4 weeks.
The lower
We might
diplomats.
not have that.
We might not have that much. We'll find out.
All right. Did we do a 3?
We did not do a 3. No.
Someone comes up with an ingenious solution to a big problem, and as a result, a project finishes early. What was their idea? Or someone comes up with a plan to ensure safety and comfort during the coldest months. Start a project related to this. I think someone comes up with an ingenious plan. These secret tunnels that are being started. So that I didn't mishear it. Is it tunnels that are connecting the shadows to our village?
Yes.
Or okay, perfect. Excellent. Someone's like, hey, you know those explosives we got from the Blower box? Are those just like gathering dust somewhere? Why don't we use those? And then they start using them for mining, and it's really fast, and it gets done so fast because they're not using their hands. It's real good, though.
It's almost like the Blowers use them to make tunnels all the time.
It's almost as if those things happen. How great this is for all of us. We now can go down to the scary place where things come and take us away.
Why did we want to go to
Why
the
did we want
Why
this
didn't
to
we
hap-
make it connect to the Crystal Mountain, you stupid idiots?
Our strange porous ground we live on. How odd we chose this route. How strange we put it right next to our giant lake.
I didn't relate this. I just kind of drew it. Okay, you
It's
can put it
fine.
wherever you want.
It's fine. Okay. So, things tick down. We have 2 weeks to the above or box situation, and then 1 week for some stuff, and then 3 weeks to the other thing. Okay. So, we have a spooky, scary mystery down in the shadows of these abover people. We have someone just disappeared. Crystal Mountain. Okay.
Just had a cool
What?
idea.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, I think that I think I'm going to make a discovery.
Yep.
And I think that the I think that the discovery is while they were digging out these tunnels, they found new kinds of crystals, some that weren't growing on the surface, some that, you know, haven't been harvested out of this cave. And instead of being, you know, ones that generate energy and heat and things of that nature, they're exceptionally cold, like very, very cold. More so than like the snow and the ice and everything that's around. But they only seem to grow like it's kind of like a literal mine. They seem to grow in like veins. And it's only because you used explosives that we were able to actually find it, because it kind of made the passageways a little bit wider and a little bit bigger. So there's more crystals everywhere. They just do different things. There's different crystals now.
Nice.
We got fancy crystals.
At the end of your turn, as the world clock ticks down, as there have been increasing winds as the seasons have changed from fall, autumn to winter, some of the clouds begin to dissipate a little bit, and you can see part of the reason there have been increased winds is they're circling above Alora's peak. There are about 8, looks like drakes, large, like kind of not quite as big as dragon, but larger than anything we've seen on this peak, circling around us.
Oh. Dragons.
Drakes are like young, youthful dragons. Drakes,
Full of youth.
not quite as strong or powerful, but
Is it
Do we
my
have an
turn?
abundance of them?
they're not here yet. They're just above us, circling.
I'm gonna put the scarcities and abundances in the bottom.
Abovers.
The abovers. Oh my
They're
god.
above the abovers. Who aboves the abovers?
Oh no.
Is it my turn?
Scarcities and abundances are in the bottom left corner now, by the way. There's a lot happening up there that it's just so much. It's too much.
I got a 10.
Bop, bop. There you go.
In preparation for the coming year, the community begins a huge undertaking. Start a project that will take at least 5 weeks to complete.
Oh god, why would you pick? Why this one though?
Let's see. Huge undertaking. So the drakes are a problem, as we've all we're worried about them.
Those are new.
I want to say in conjunction with the drakes arriving, we noticed that the earthquakes have gotten worse. And we noticed that the crystals, even if they're buried in the forest, the warm ones, they start to go cold. And that's worrying because it like we've seen, you know, the crystals being dragged down. We're worried that something might be under there. A few people have interpreted that maybe there's something that shouldn't come out and stuff, and they're worried that based on the drawings and based on the arrival of the drakes, that there's a small chance that the thing in the forest might be awakening soon. So the huge undertaking we're going to take, and we aren't even exactly sure how we're going to do it yet, but we got 5 weeks that we need to do it, is we are going to try and let's see, I want to say, the weird way I'm going to word this is appease the dragons. Because what I want to do is I want to see if there's, like, they want to see if there's a way to open up a communication with the drakes, because some drakes can talk and stuff, right? Or is these
Yes,
purely...
correct.
Okay.
No,
They want
they
to
can
see
talk.
if there's any way to figure out what the... Basically, regardless of if they can or cannot talk, they want to figure out if they can figure out what the drakes want and why they've started flying here. They want to figure out why the crystals are going cold and if there's a way to make them warm again. And stuff like that. Just, like,
Okay.
figuring out, essentially, what's going on with all of the dragon problems in town. And I guess
Okay.
that will take 5 weeks. If we get that far.
So what is this project called?
This project is called Appease the Dragons.
I didn't spell it right, but it doesn't matter. We all know what it means.
And then,
Uh,
does anything tick down?
Yeah. What does the parish look like, Jason? That finishes this week. Oh, and so does the Watcher replacement for Tom.
Well, you go first, Jason.
Whoever's ready, yeah.
It's a guess a medium-sized building for the period we're in, but just a large building that can fit a good amount of people. You see the parish trying to gather people in, waving them in, telling them to come hear the word of their church.
Cool. Tom?
Okay, so since Fleur was a little bit of a controversial candidate, we get hold on. Gotta come up with a good. We get this.
Hutch's son.
We get Hutch's human son.
No, make him a snail son.
Snail
I
son.
was okay. Hold
A
on.
normal
He's gonna be
sized
half
snail.
human, half snail.
Oh, no. I don't like
A controversial decision.
Yeah, the safe decision.
How can you be so controversial yet so brave?
We get what's a different word that kind of sounds like hutch
Oh my god.
but isn't such? We get much.
I was gonna say much. It's gotta be much. But M-U-T-C-H.
Oh my God.
Much.
To anyone who's listening to this is terrible. this monstrosity is really bad. It's so bad.
The safe choice. Much.
Much.
Oh god. So he's gonna be the new and Glenjamin's is like, I don't even think this guy could hold a bow. Which is important to be a watcher, even if we weren't gonna subvert them. Here we go. I guess
Amazing.
I'll just kind of like but yeah, he's the new bold pick.
Much.
And let me just shoot. Just trying to make it all organized. Logan, Fleur, you get over. Go back on the outside.
Wait, you can put him with Telva, Delia, and
You
Orin.
took the dead man's legs with you.
I'll put all the people who are in.
Why? Why is it like that?
What's
Just
that?
so much. Why?
Oh, you
Why
didn't
much?
just stop.
It's bad. It's so bad.
He's a snail human, but not in the way you think.
What way did you think?
I thought
This
it's
is the
like,
only
I thought
way.
it's like a human with a shell and maybe like eye stalk.
No.
Not a snail with a human
I
face.
think that's kind of worse, too.
I feel like your
It's so
version's way worse.
bad.
Okay, so much.
At least it's not a snail that the shell is a human head.
Oh, that was pretty bad.
It's
Oh,
bad.
jeez.
Yeah.
Man, you guys have.
No, it's not us. Jinju Ito
Juju
did that.
Ito.
So, I get my action now, right?
Yeah, that was the last project that finished, I believe. Yes.
Alrighty. I want to say Ron has been essentially kind of collecting the bodies of the Endless Walkers he's been killing to make sure that nobody stumbles upon them. and he's been taking them to a specific part of the boundaries, because I want to say it sounds like Ron is basically become like one with the forest. Like he navigates himself through the forest. He's not afraid of it or anything. Especially
Has only killed one. Has only killed. Well, technically,
he's
two.
technically killed two
Yeah.
Watchers. So the two
Yeah.
Watchers that were dead.
Well, Glenjamin killed the other one.
Yeah.
But
Sure, yeah.
but with his help.
But yeah, they were together when they did it. But yeah, they have like a special burying spot that they try to keep like deep in the forest, away from prying eyes and stuff, so that when Watchers disappear, they disappear forever. And one day Ron goes to check up on the place, and he notices that both the bodies are missing. But as he's looking around, he sees a figure in the middle of the forest that has like essentially a crystal growing out of its back and like glowing eyes. He isn't sure what it is, but when he tries to get closer, it somehow like darts off so fast he can't see it. Like he doesn't know where it goes, and it just mysteriously vanishes.
I take a contempt token for all of those images you just shared.
How are any of those worse than what Tom drew?
You can't. It's bad. It's all bad.
Look
Listen.
at the second one. He's wholesome.
Wait, what are you talking?
No!
Where did you share pictures?
In the Facebook
no.
chat, I posted a bunch of snail people.
Oh God.
It's just I don't ever want to think of Beyonce with snail eye stalks coming
Yeah,
out of her
that one
eyes.
was.
That
I'll
one
give you
is
that.
very
That
bad.
one was bad. I'll give you that. You got me there.
Moment of
I
weakness.
draw the contempt at snail people.
Okay, racist.
All right. I didn't say line. There is contempt. Well,
Fantastic. That was Tom's turn, or was that Dave's
that's
turn?
Dave.
That was
All
me.
right, Tom. Now it's you.
Okay, 7? Do we do 7?
Nope. 7. Let me pull it up. Right there.
What is winter like in this area? How do community members react to the weather?
What's we do like on the mountain?
There are days where it's just like a foot and a half of snow on the ground at all times, and then there are days where it's basically just a whiteout.
Yeah.
So it's like every third day or so it seems to be a whiteout. So a lot of horrible things seem to move around in that time out in the woods and below ground and everything like that. The belowers don't seem to mind because they're below ground. They had the right idea this whole time.
Amazing.
That shadow man looks very scary.
Okay. The diplomats tick down to 1. Watch replacement's already finished. The what's in the above box finally finishes.
The
Full 6
above
weeks.
box. It finally did. We did it. I didn't think this time.
What's
would
in the
come.
box?
What's in the above box? Okay, so it took them so long to get back, because they were successful. They found the kind of resting place of the abovers, and it didn't take them long to find it. But what took them the longest was trying to rescue the survivors of the shadows. So they found down the mountain, surprisingly, there was kind of a smaller peak, and nestled in almost an invisible caldera in this smaller peak was this network. And by network, I mean like an exceptionally elaborately constructed city that wasn't necessarily made out of like stone buildings or anything like that, but it was made out of this similar black, whatever the abovers are made out of. It was made out of this similar black substance, but it was kind of almost looked organic, like tendons and sinew that was just stretched across this large caldera that formed bridges and kind of structures, almost looking like a weirdly organic spider web, and trying to figure out how to traverse that and rescue as many people as they could. But I think they managed to get a couple of people out, but not a lot, without risking their own safety. But that's what took the longest. So they found it, and it's bad. It's gross.
All right. Cool. I guess. Or terrible.
It's very terrible.
Okay. What action's being taken now?
I think it's still
Tom.
Tom.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Let's see. That's awful. I'm trying to. Oh, where do we have our current projects and stuff?
They're down on the bottom.
there
I
we
just
go.
moved everything
Yeah,
down there. We're running out of space.
I think Much and Glenjamin, and maybe a little outside help from Fleur and Ron, are going to plan another ambush of another one of the old Watchers.
Sure.
And I want to say that the planning, since they're like embedded and they're starting to almost like outnumber them, it's only going to take like a week or two. What do you think? A week or two?
I think 2's good.
Yeah, two. Okay. Let's do that. So another assassination. This time, Much is going to be the trigger man.
Your time much.
You're up.
Don't let us down. Don't let us down, man.
Here's my artist interpretation of what Ron looks like.
Jason.
Parrot.
Okay, did we do 3?
No, we did not. Wait, did we? No, we didn't.
I did.
Did we? Well, you
Yeah,
did 3.
there's
Yeah,
me.
you did. Never, I'm
Oh.
sorry.
Yeah. So what happens with that?
Just draw
If
a
you
new
already
one.
did, yeah, just draw again.
Oh, okay. 8.
Right there.
Oh boy. Winter is harsh, and desperation gives rise to fear-mongering. Choose one. Spend the week calming the masses and dispelling their violent sentiments. The week ends immediately. Declare war on someone or something. This counts as starting a project.
Yeah.
Winter sucks.
I'm gonna say the parish comes out with their new church, and all the parishioners come out, and they are shouting to everyone that everything's fine. If they're fearing the cold in the winter, they have a place in the church to stay. No one will be left out in the cold. Everyone can relax. There was always going to be more that they can offer and help with. So that they're putting out the efforts to try to calm the community.
Yeah. And that the weekends
And-
immediately.
Yep. So I don't do anything else.
Yeah,
that's
so
just it.
nothing.
So yeah, the clocks don't go down. Nothing happens. That's just the end of the road for this week.
How exciting.
Very exciting. And I got a 4.
One of these days it's gonna be bad.
It's getting down to it. All the animals and young children are crying and won't stop. Hold a discussion about this in addition to your regular action for the week, or a great atrocity is revealed. What is it? Who uncovers it? Oh man, both these are very good.
God.
Oh man.
Why is Timmy and also Jimmy Jr. crying? Timmy is the cat.
Why are the king squirrels crying? Why do the king squirrels cry?
Why do the king squirrels?
Oh man, these are both very good. Okay. Okay, I know what I'm gonna do. Maybe controversial decisions, but I know what I'm gonna do. A great atrocity is revealed. Let's talk about who uncovers it first. Let me look back at our people.
Who's next to a train?
It's me. I'm right next to a train.
Oh.
I think. One hot minute. Give me a name.
Zendel.
Francois.
I like
Zendel Francois.
Zendel Francois, or Zen to their
It's a full
friends.
name.
Send to
Um,
their friends.
I'm gonna write that down. Hold on, Zendel or Zen Francois. Francois. A kind of, I think one of the Wanderers doing a patrol. The atrocity they come upon is they find the bodies of the dead Watchers in the forest from Ron and Glenjim, and they find the bodies.
Whoops.
And that is the great atrocity they find. And they, not exactly knowing what happens, this gets the community up in a stir. Some people are afraid, some people are happy, but it is causing chaos in the community that they found these 2 dead bodies not that far into the forest.
Yikes.
Did they move? Because I said they were gone.
Where did you say they were?
I said that they were missing on my turn.
The bodies?
Yeah.
They find them in the forest somewhere.
Oh,
Maybe they
okay.
mean maybe deeper in or somewhere else. But wait, where did you say? When did you say they went missing?
On the guy, the mysterious guy with the crystal out of his back, I was basically I was implying that they got up.
Okay, didn't quite get to that. You inferred that. That's fine. Then I'll change mine. If I didn't get that from what you said. No, they don't. Maybe they don't find the bodies, but they find like the work. They found like maybe a couple bloody arrows. They find like and gouts of blood, and I think it's maybe some people are inferring that a murder happened there. So maybe not exactly in like torn clothes and stuff. Like maybe not the bodies, but enough to make like inferences from that. But that is the atrocity revealed.
There's been a murder.
Most foul.
And the project clicks tick down. There's now 1 for the next Watcher assassination. The diplomats from the Blowers. I actually didn't think I was going to finish this.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Turns out the
Damn it.
blowers are just full of shit.
Holy shit! It's
There are no buffers.
There are no buffers.
We are the buffers.
Your buffers are a hoax. I think that. Telva, Telva, Orin, and Delia come back with Fleur, and they do relay that it does seem like the Belowers are like preparing for a war. They seem concerned. There wasn't much like actual evidence there. They didn't see any battles happening currently, more of just prep. But I think the breakthrough diplomatic wise that happened is that the Blowers are willing to talk to us more and make an exchange of goods, even if we're not going to get involved directly with the war. But also the Ice Dryads and the Blowers, who have never met before, are now going to open up lines of communication as well. As they didn't know one another existed. They just never crossed paths. They were far enough away and didn't take the same routes or anything. So now they are opening up lines of communication as well.
Yes.
And as my last thing, fuck.
We got 1 project.
I gotta start the project.
It's a
Gotta be a short.
long-ass
Got a short one though.
Yeah, nice and short one.
Nice and short one. I'm gonna say
We make soup?
we make soup.
Just 1 bowl. Don't
Big old
overindulge.
pot of gumbo.
I do like how we have just an anvil in the middle of the field. Our field anvil.
I'm gonna say the project. I'm gonna say the project is. I think the project is going to be the parish, the Formless Devout. Their project is just going to be they're going to try to convince 1 or 2 of the beloved in this community to be on there, to like join them. Not necessarily like to abandon our community, but just back them up in what they're saying and what they believe in and like kind of their goals, trying to get them on their side. So that'll be a 2-week project to kind of, it doesn't have to be the whole, like everyone that is of that status, but a couple people to get behind them, basically. And that'll take 2 weeks. That's it.
Yeah. I feel like we did 8 already, did we?
We did.
How about the jack?
We did not do the jack.
An infected outsider arrives seeking amnesty. They have some much needed resources with them. Choose one. Welcome them into the community, remove a scarcity, but also introduce an infection into the community. Bar them from entry. What scarcity could they have addressed? How does it need become more dire in this week? But we
What's
don't
scarce? Do we have any
have
scarcities?
any. We're not scarce in any way.
We're scarce on scarcities.
I mean, you could just choose. I mean, maybe you could do the second one and just say like what maybe like could be a scarcity soon. It doesn't necessarily have to be a scarcity right now, but like what, or you could add a scarcity if you really want to, I guess, or just maybe something that could be a scarcity soon. That's how I would, if you want to do it. That's how I would interpret it. Unless you have another idea.
Let's see.
He had a bunch of fruit on him.
I know. Okay, so didn't somebody say that the crystals were all turning cold?
Yeah.
Cool. So I think that they are. I don't think that they. I think that the community is so ragged and just trying to, there's just been some potentially unexplained murders. There's this whole potential belower war. Things are happening everywhere, and they're not really in a place to accept. Well, actually, no, I take that back. They are going to take this person in because they do have an infection, but we have a health shack and a parish. We have gone through a terrible thing of sickness already. We can take it again. So I think we accept this outsider whose name is going to be
Bart Simpson.
no,
Bart
but
Simpson.
it was gonna be a B name.
Burke.
Rat.
Bentha Taxton.
How do you spell? What was that?
Bentha, and then Taxton, like tax and
Yeah.
ton.
Ton. Oh, I thought
Ton Taxton.
tax.
What's his name?
Her name is Bentha Taxton.
Ben the
Ben-
tax.
Capitalism
text.
arrives at Allora's Peak.
Yeah, that's the infection that shows up. So we don't have any scarcity to remove. However, I think the infection that they bring with them, I think it looks similar to like the weird nose situation that happened a while ago. So I think that's why the community was pretty happy to accept them in. But there's this strange. It doesn't show up for like until after they got accepted into the community. But they're like, oh yeah, there's also this thing, and underneath, like on their torso, they have these black veins that are just like spider webbing up and around their sides and their back. And they're like, this is really the problem. What I have in my face is just a cold, but like this is really the issue. And to those who had gone to the abover lair, it looks a lot like what was going on over there.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Allora was just like, you let him right to it. I tried to warn you.
Tried to warn you, and you.
Tom, the next Watcher assassination goes off, but now they're on high alert now. So how does that turn out?
As I said before, much is the trigger man this time. So it's late one night, and what were the weird names? We killed Barlamir.
Nyx is still alive, and so is
Yeah, basically the only thing that happened in that last one is Barlamir got shot in the back of the head.
Yeah.
Everything else was fan fiction. Okay, so Nyx is restless one night, and he gets up and he walks down to the main chamber where all the Endless Watchers like to have dinner and discuss evil shit. And and he sees Much sitting there drinking a tea and everything, but the way he drinks, he has to like put his face down into it and then come back up. And there's only one candle going, and he's like, "Oh, I see you're awake. You couldn't sleep either, huh?" And Nyx is like, "No, I couldn't sleep. What you got there?" It's like, "Oh, this is something my people like to drink. My old grandpappy Hutch used to make it. He's like, oh, Hutch was a great snail. Can I try some? Of course you can. And he like, I don't know, he makes him a cup off to the side or whatever. And as Nick sits
Somehow.
down, he goes, cheers. And Much goes, cheers. And slams his face into the cup as Nix takes a drink. And then Nick starts to cough. He's like, what's it? What do you put in this? And Much goes, oh, just those ice crystals we found below where the belowers live. The ones that are ultra cold. And before he's even done explaining it, Nyx is already like an ice sculpture. And then Glenjamin and Ron come in through the dark. They step out of the darkness. Like, we'll take it from here, Much. You did good, kid. You did good. And they drag his body off into the forest. And Much is now part of the circle. So that's one more watcher that needs replacing.
And then your action.
Hang on, I gotta give.
My action?
No, it's
my-
yeah, Maria's.
Oh, right.
there
right.
we go.
Yeah, it's just your finishing your project.
Okay. Well, I'm banking on the fact that we're not going to have a whole lot of things to do, so I'm going to not start a project. I'm going to hold a discussion, and it's going to be a discussion between the parish and the people in the medical professionals in the health shack about this strange new illness that Bentha Taxton has so graciously brought upon our town, and the connection to the above layer, and a question from the head parishioner is, what sorts of how can we protect ourselves against something that is both a sickness and a creature?
A sacrifice.
God damn it.
Barry, you can't
Why did
every
we even
time.
invite
I
him?
love this guy. I fucking love this guy.
We gotta make him a character.
I know.
Maybe he's the next watcher replacement.
I'm going to say we have to cut it off at its source.
One of the members of the parish, a different member of the parish, speaks up. I think we need to get one of these creatures and study it. I mean, if the disease came from them, that's the only way I think we can fix it is either asking questions or getting it by force.
I think we should ally with the blowers and blow off that part of the cave and stop this threat before it even gets close. The end. See.
I'd seen.
Well, Murray, you asked a question. Yeah, I see you.
I did, yeah. I agree that we need to study these creatures more and soon. And soon.
Alrighty. Is it my turn then?
Yep.
Okay, I got King.
Oh my god, we did it!
That's it.
That's
Read.
it.
The Frost Shepherds arrived. The game is over.
What?
We did it!
What are the Frost Shepherds?
It's the Frost Shepherds are left for the interpretation of like each game.
Oh.
And the final shot we get of Allora's Peak, like as these some problems dealt with, other problems still kind of going on, is that it is a particularly clear day, and the Windrakes part, and you see a full-grown wind dragon begin to descend down to this peak. And then the camera cuts, That's where we end this prologue storytelling, world building of the Quiet Year.
Yikes! Everything got
Yikes.
bad, and then it got really bad, and it's just not gotten better.
Hey, well, some things have gotten better. Some are a lot worse.
Well,
We now have a disease we don't know how to fix.
And
we,
the Endless Watchers went from being the coolest things in the universe to a band of cartoon characters. So
Doing 80s bad 80s cartoon.
That's always a thing.
Is much too much.
It's much too much.
I figured we had to start solving one of our thousands of issues.
Listen, no one has tried a sacrifice yet.
That's true.
We haven't
Can't
gotten
say
I mean,
one.
you know, that's what the ice dryads had been doing for thousands
That's
of
true.
years.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
okay,
It's
not
bodies,
necessarily,
technically.
but you know, it's just bodies. But you know,